It's been a little over a month now that Lionel Messi finally fulfilled the boyhood dream of not just him but many other players who strive to play for the Argentina national football team, and he has at last finally spoken up on just what this triumph means to him. Now, obviously, he has done, interactions with the media as well as interactions with social media in the past, but this time he's finally spoken out in a one-on-one exclusive interview with an Argentine radio station. Now, it's a pretty interesting interview. It covers a lot of ground. So we here at Sports Today decided that we'll actually get you some of the best bits from it, some of the more interesting, newsworthy tidbits, and believe you me when I say there's a lot of them, and I've narrowed it down to just 4, but believe you me when I say it could have been so much more, because there's just a lot of ground that he's covered, although a lot of it revolves around these 4 major talking points. So without further ado, let's just quickly get down to what exactly he said. And one of the first things he talks about is a very infamous moment during the FIFA World Cup that of course revolved around him as well as the player off camera who's now been identified as Wout Weghorst. Now you remember during the quarterfinal against Argentina, against the Netherlands, very ill-tempered game. Afterwards, Messi was seen muttering the rather infamous words "Que mera bobo" to Wout Weghorst, and he's now come out and said that he regrets how it happened. His exact words were, "I don't like what I did. I don't like what happened. I reacted that way. There had been many things with this player. It just happened. I don't like to leave that image." Now, when this entire thing happened at first, Messi was rather hailed because it became just one of those rather iconic, hilarious social media moments shared on Reels and Twitter and TikTok and everywhere else the world over. But it is interesting to see Messi now say that, look, you know what, I regret how it happened and this is probably not the image that I wanted to put out. That being said, it does show a man who was driven and consumed by that desire to finally win the FIFA World Cup on his last attempt by his own admission. He did say before the World Cup that, look, this is going to be my final attempt. I'm not going to be playing the next World Cup most likely. He did in fact end up winning the World Cup, but there was one small tiny regret that he had, and it just so happened to involve another man who had won a FIFA World Cup with Argentina in the past. I am referring, of course, to Diego Maradona. He said, "I would have liked Diego Maradona to hand me the cup so he could have at least seen us as champions. From up above, he gave me strength, as did so many people who loved me." Now, again, you remember that Maradona had passed away in the end of 2020 due to a cardiac arrest, and it is also worth noting that him and Messi did not always see eye to eye. In fact, there's a lot of times when Messi came out publicly and criticized Messi for not showing enough leadership. So there was a bit of a strain in the relationship, but Messi did very clearly still look up to El Diego, a man who was an idol to many players of Messi's generation and even of the modern generation. So it is very nice of him to acknowledge that, look, it would have been nice to see Diego actually get to see us as world champions before he passed away. Obviously, that didn't happen, but he does believe that Maradona was definitely up there, giving him all of the strength to actually finally take Argentina to that World Cup glory, which had been quite a long time coming. Now, there's other interesting talking points as well, because again, as I said, that it may have been 36 long years, but even this time around, Argentina definitely stumbled over their own feet a lot of the times. There were some very tough games, and according to Messi, there was one game that was tougher than most. And before you're thinking, no, it was neither Netherlands nor was it the final against France, it was in fact the match against Mexico. This is what he said. He said the match with Mexico was the most difficult and the one where we played the worst for all that it entailed having to win to stay alive. Now, of course, you'd remember that, Argentina came into the tournament favorites. They were leading against Saudi Arabia in their opening game, but Saudi Arabia ended up stunning them 2-1, and then this left them with a rather envious position because they had to actually win their next 2 games in order to stay alive in the tournament. And the game against Mexico definitely was not an entertaining watch. I mean, yes, people remember that Messi goal, but what you don't remember is that Argentina struggled for about 60 minutes prior to that. That goal opened up the game and ensured that they stayed alive, but had they not won that match, which according to Messi himself was a very ugly match, the worst match they played, things could have been looking very different right about now. Now, the last thing which I thought was very interesting, which Messi mentioned, dare I say, has a bit of a filmy twist because it's very Bollywood-ish in the way that it has been phrased. Now, if you're wondering what exactly it is he's talking about, he was quizzed as to what it is that he would tell a younger version of himself, and this is what he had to say. He said that you will have a beautiful path with some tough moments that you will have to overcome, but never give up on your dreams because at the end, you will get your most desired reward. your film will have a happy ending. As I said, very, very filmy, but it is also interesting to note that this is Leo Messi. We're talking about someone who's won all that there is to win in the world of football, but he was still waiting for this very moment, the moment that is a dream for all of the boys and girls of Argentina all over the country. It is to win the FIFA World Cup for the nation. It says a lot about Messi that, he was still hanging on to that hope of winning the FIFA World Cup despite everything that he has already won in his career at this point. Good news for him though, as he said, his film definitely had a happy ending. Now, what do you guys think was the most interesting part of this entire interview? Because as I said, lots of talking points. Well, you can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tap the bell icon so you know when it is we're going live or uploading a new video, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app. Thank you all once again for joining us. I hope to see you with us through the day on this channel as we keep putting out more sports related videos for you guys. For now though, goodbye.